Welcome back to our channel, your ultimate source for all the scorching drama in Los Angeles. Today is a beautiful day to dive into the most explosive secrets rocking Forrester Creations. Buckle up because the stakes have never been higher and the fallout will be absolutely legendary. Let us get straight into the madness. Steffy Forrester Finnegan paces the floor like a caged animal. Her breath is shallow. Her eyes are wide with a terrifying realization that is about to blow her entire world to absolute pieces. Across the room, Carter Walton stands frozen. His usually calm and collected demeanor is shattered into a million jagged fragments. The ghost of their drunken, grief-fueled night on that very office couch is no longer just a haunting memory. It is a living, breathing nightmare. The unthinkable has happened. The ultimate consequence of their reckless abandon has arrived. Steffy is pregnant. The walls of the fashion empire are closing in on them. The suffocating reality of their monumental mistake is threatening to detonate two marriages in one catastrophic blast. There is no running from this. The truth is ticking like a time bomb, and the explosion is imminent. Just as the frantic whispers reach a fever pitch, the office door swings open. Ridge Forrester steps into the room. His sharp eyes immediately lock onto the guilty, panicked expressions of his daughter and his chief operating officer. The silence that follows is deafening. Ridge is no fool. He can smell the deception in the air. He demands answers. His voice echoes off the walls, demanding to know why his two most trusted executives are ripping into each other in a hidden corner of the building. Carter operates on pure adrenaline and sheer desperation. He steps directly into the line of fire. He spins a rapid, bogus explanation. It is a desperate web of corporate lies designed to throw Ridge off the scent. But Ridge's eyes narrow. The excuse is flimsy. The tension is far too personal. Ridge leaves the room, but the suspicion in his eyes guarantees that this interrogation is far from over. Steffy collapses into a chair. The nausea of her predicament washes over her in sickening waves. They survived Ridge for now, but the clock is ticking louder than ever. Steffy is drowning. The guilt is a physical weight on her chest, crushing the breath out of her lungs. Every time she looks at her phone and sees a loving message from John Finn Finnegan, it feels like a knife twisting in her gut. Finn is the blindly devoted husband who raced across the globe. He fought through the Monaco disaster. He continues to look at her like she hung the moon and the stars. Finn is completely oblivious to the fact that his wife sought comfort in the arms of another man. Steffy wants to scream the truth. She wants to rip the Band-Aid off and confess everything. She desperately needs to relieve the agonizing pressure building inside her skull. She knows that liquor and emotional distress are a lethal combination for her. This is not the first time she has fallen into this trap. The memories of her drunken betrayal with Liam Spencer are flashing before her eyes. The paternity test nightmare with Hayes is repeating on a terrifying loop. But this time, there is no ambiguity. There is no question of who the father is. The timeline is brutally, undeniably clear. The baby growing inside her belongs to Carter Walton. Carter is fighting a desperate, losing battle to keep the lid on this explosive secret. He is vehemently arguing against Steffy's desire to confess. He cannot let the truth come out. He will not let it happen. Why? Because Daphne Rose Walton has returned to Los Angeles. The wife who walked out on him in a haze of infertility grief has come back. The woman who cruelly told him their marriage was over because she could not give him a child is standing right in front of him. She never boarded that flight to Paris. Daphne realized she cannot live without him. She is ready to repair their fractured marriage. She wants to revisit their family plans. She is offering Carter everything he ever wanted. The cruel, agonizing irony of the situation is enough to drive a man insane. Daphne is crying tears of hope, completely oblivious to the fact that her husband slept with her best friend. And now, that best friend is pregnant with a child Daphne so desperately wants to give him. Carter is trapped in a hell of his own making. He is willing to do whatever it takes to protect Daphne from the soul-crushing reality of his betrayal. The arguments between Steffy and Carter are becoming vicious. They are hushed, frantic, and completely unhinged. Steffy is pacing, clutching her stomach. Tears of sheer panic are streaming down her face. She cannot lie to Finn anymore. The deception is rotting her from the inside out. But Carter steps in her path. His voice is a harsh, desperate whisper. He grabs her by the shoulders, forcing her to look at the reality of the destruction she is about to unleash. If she confesses, she loses Finn. If she confesses, Carter loses Daphne. 2 marriages will be burned to the ground in an instant. The collateral damage would be biblical. The Forrester family would be torn apart. The press would have a field day. Carter demands that she lock the truth in a vault and throw away the key. They must find a way out of this impossible corner. They need a cover story, a lie so massive, so audacious, that no one would ever dare to question it. And in the depths of their shared panic, a twisted, desperate plan begins to take shape. The cover story they concoct is nothing short of absolute madness. It is a high-stakes gamble that requires nerves of steel and a total abandonment of morality. The plan? A secret surrogacy arrangement. They will spin a narrative that Steffy, out of the profound goodness of her heart and her deep love for her best friend Daphne, agreed to be a surrogate for the Waltons. They will claim that the pregnancy is not the result of a drunken, illicit hookup on the office couch. They will sell it as a beautiful, selfless medical procedure designed to give Carter and Daphne the family they have been praying for. It is a ready-made explanation that neatly ties up the loose ends. It explains the pregnancy. It explains why Carter is the father. It even solves Carter and Daphne's infertility heartbreak. When the baby is born, it will belong to the Waltons. Steffy can return to her perfect life with Finn. On paper, it is the perfect crime. In reality, it is a house of cards rigged with dynamite. Imagine the sheer audacity required to pitch this lie to Daphne. Carter will have to look his vulnerable, hopeful wife in the eyes. He will have to feed her a fabricated story about a secret medical arrangement. How do they explain keeping it a secret from her? They will have to claim they wanted to surprise her. They will have to say they did not want to get her hopes up in case the procedure failed. Carter will have to manipulate Daphne's deepest desires. He will use her longing for a child as a shield to protect his own infidelity. Daphne, trusting and desperate for a miracle, might actually fall for it. She might weep tears of joy. She might pull Steffy into a grateful embrace, thanking her best friend for the ultimate sacrifice. The psychological torture Steffy will endure in that moment will push her to the absolute brink of insanity. Being praised as a saint while harboring the darkest of sins is a unique kind of hell. Every hug, every thank you from Daphne will be a dagger to Steffy's conscience. But Daphne is only half the battle. The true insurmountable obstacle in this diabolical cover-up is John Finn Finnegan. Finn is not just a devoted husband. He is a highly trained, brilliant medical professional. He is a doctor who understands biology, timelines, and hospital protocols better than anyone. Trying to sell a secret artificial insemination story to a top-tier physician is like trying to sell ice to an Eskimo. Finn is going to have questions. Rapid-fire, clinical, relentless questions. He will want to know exactly when this procedure took place. He will want to know which clinic handled the insemination. He will demand to see the medical records. He will ask for the consent forms and the psychological evaluations that are mandatory for any legal surrogacy arrangement. The level of detail required to fool a doctor of Finn's caliber is staggering. Steffy and Carter are flying completely blind. Finn will want to know the name of the clinic. He will ask for the endocrinologist's name. He will ask about the hormone protocol Steffy used. Did she take Luprin? Did she use progesterone oil injections? Finn knows the grueling physical toll of IVF preparation. He will wonder how his wife endured daily injections without him noticing a single bruise on her skin. He will wonder how she attended endless ultrasound monitoring appointments while running Forrester Creations. The lies will have to be incredibly specific. Every specific lie is a trap waiting to snap shut. Steffi will panic. She will throw up walls. She will have to backpedal furiously. She will weave a tangled web of medical excuses to keep Finn off the trail. How does she convince him that the artificial insemination did not take place at the very hospital where he works? She will have to claim she used a private, discreet clinic to avoid the inevitable gossip that surrounds the Forrester name. When Finn demands to speak to the attending physician, Steffi will have to throw up a massive smokescreen. Will she try to invoke HIPAA rules? Will she claim the clinic is bound by strict confidentiality agreements that even a spouse cannot breach? The legal gymnastics required to pull this off are mind-boggling. But Finn is a doctor. He knows that HIPAA does not prevent a patient from sharing their own medical records with their husband. He knows that a legitimate clinic would require spousal consent for a married woman to act as a surrogate. The loopholes in their story are massive. Finn's analytical mind is going to zero in on them with laser precision. The timeline is going to be their ultimate undoing. Finn will calculate the dates. He will trace the conception back to the exact window of time when Steffi returned from Monaco. He will remember the sheer rage she felt over the Sheila disaster. He will remember the distance between them, the delayed flights, the emotional disconnect. How does Steffi explain scheduling a complex, highly coordinated fertility procedure in the middle of a massive marital crisis? How does she explain undergoing hormone treatments and clinical appointments without Finn ever noticing a single symptom? How did she hide a single missing hour in her schedule? The logistics of a secret surrogacy are impossible to hide from a husband who shares your bed. Finn's medical expertise will turn him into a relentless detective. Every lie Steffi tells will only dig her grave deeper. The pressure of maintaining this clinical deception will fracture Steffi's mind. The ghosts of Steffi's past are coming back to haunt her with a vengeance. This is not her first rodeo with questionable paternity and drunken mistakes. The entire ordeal with Liam Spencer is casting a long, dark shadow over this current crisis. Back then, they did not know if Hayes belonged to Liam or Finn until the DNA test confirmed the truth. Finn forgave her. He looked past the betrayal and married her anyway. But that was before they were married. That was before they built a life, a family, and a foundation of absolute trust. To betray him again, in such a spectacular, calculated manner, is unforgivable. To cover it up with a sprawling, medical conspiracy is a line Finn may never be able to cross. The betrayal is no longer just a moment of weakness. It is a sustained, malicious campaign of deception. If Finn uncovers the truth, the fallout will not just be a divorce. It will be the total annihilation of Steffi's world. Meanwhile, Carter is risking everything he has ever built. His reputation as the moral compass of Forrester Creations is about to be incinerated. He is the chief operating officer. He is a brilliant legal mind. He is a man respected by everyone. And yet, he is orchestrating a fraud of epic proportions. He is betraying Ridge, his closest friend and mentor, by sleeping with his daughter and lying to his face. He is betraying Finn, a man he respects. And most devastatingly, he is betraying Daphne, the woman he swore to love and protect. Carter's desperation to have a child has driven him to the darkest corners of his own morality. His desperation to save his marriage is making him reckless. He is building a house of cards on a foundation of lies. A single gust of wind will bring the entire structure crashing down. The anxiety is eating him alive. Every time Ridge looks at him, Carter is waiting for the hammer to fall. Every time Daphne smiles at him, his soul fractures a little more. The week of August 24th is set to be the most explosive week in the history of Los Angeles. The secret is too big. The lies are too complex. The players are too volatile. Steffi's guilt is a ticking time bomb. Carter's desperation is a lit fuse. Ridge is circling like a shark that smells blood in the water. Daphne is blindly walking into a minefield. And Finn is a brilliant doctor who is about to be handed a medical mystery that makes absolutely no sense. The collision course is set. The secret surrogacy plan is a desperate, insane gamble. It is destined to fail in the most spectacular fashion imaginable. When the truth finally erupts, the devastation will be absolute. Marriages will be shattered. Families will be torn apart. The corridors of Forrester Creations will run red with the fallout of this monumental betrayal. There is no escaping the consequences. The reckoning is here. Will Finn uncover the surrogacy lie, or will Carter's marriage explode first? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below, hit subscribe, and never miss a scandalous update.